Hey everybody, Riley the Purple Coyote here, and today on Coyote Yaps, I'm going to be talking about something I think is pretty darn important, so let's get started. How many of you have heard those horror stories about commissioning a fursuit? I have heard from so many fellow furs, including friends of mine, who've had a bad experience commissioning a fursuit. I've heard stories of people waiting almost 10 years for a suit, suits literally falling apart after a few hours of wear, and probably the worst of all, people giving money to a maker and then never hearing from them again. What's up with that? So today I want to share with you guys my 5 tips to avoid having a bad experience or encountering a scammer when you're ready to buy a fursuit. Number 1, reading reviews. So once you have your handful of makers narrowed down that you would like to commission for your suit, I recommend you read tons of reviews for all of those makers. A good website to look through is fursuitreview.com. I'll stick the link in the description. They have a huge database of about 250 makers that have been reviewed by commissioners. Look for makers that have consistent positive reviews. And if they have a few bad reviews, it's not the end of the world. Read those especially, and see what the maker did, if anything, to rectify the situation and make the commissioner happy. Go to artistbeware.info and look up your makers to make sure that any of the ones you're interested in don't have any posts there. Posts on Artist Beware generally indicates that the customer was very unhappy with the commission process or end product, and that the maker did little or nothing at all to make it right. Reading reviews and checking Artist Beware will probably help you narrow down your list of fursuit makers a little bit more. And that takes us to number 2, talking to other customers. I recommend talking to people who've commissioned makers that you're interested in. Don't get too personal and ask about cost, because that's going to vary from project to project. Stick to things like the actual commission process and if they recommend the maker. Were they happy with the level of communication from the maker? Are they happy with the look and quality of their suit? Were they satisfied with the wait time? When I was getting ready to select a maker, I talked to people who had commissioned fursuits from makers I was interested in. Specifically, my maker, Don't Hug Cacti. This is because I had seen several negative reviews of DHC within the last 2 to 3 years, pertaining mainly to their customer service. And it definitely made me wary. After talking to more recent customers who had received their suits within the last year and hearing a lot of positive things, I felt confident that they would be a good choice for me as a fursuit maker. Number 3, ask for examples. Be wary of any maker that cannot or will not show you examples of their past work. Generally, someone who's never made a fursuit before in their life should not be taking commissions under any circumstance. It's usually fine to commission a newer maker who's only been around for a year or 2, especially if your budget is tighter. Newer makers generally can't charge the same amount as more established makers can. But please, please, do not compare a newer maker's work to that of makers who have been in the business for a decade or more. It's not a fair assessment of either maker, and it is downright rude. Do not do it. Do not! Number 4 is your budget. Expect a reputable fursuit maker to charge anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 or more for a custom full suit. Now, of course, this price range is a massive spectrum, and it's going to depend on things like the maker that you work with, extra features you might want on your suit, like padding in the bodysuit or an extra set of hands or feet. But you're going to be very hard pressed to find a maker that can make you a custom full suit for under $1,500, especially if your suit is going to have extras like body padding, 3D eyes, very unique markings or lots of different colors. And remember, you get what you pay for. There's a reason that the more well-known fursuit makers can charge upwards of $3,000 for a custom commission. They've been in the business for years, usually 10 years or more, and they have a very predictable, repeatable style and quality to all of their suits. That doesn't mean that the smaller makers don't have a good style as well. It's just that fursuits you see from bigger makers are very easily recognizable. I don't usually have to tell people who made my fursuit because they can know just by looking at it. And finally, number 5, avoid scam sites. If you hop on Google right now and look up fursuit, at the top of the page, you'll see listings from sites like shopmascot.com, DHgate, and eBay that show pictures of very nice suits for usually under $500 or $600. These sites are scams. Never give these sites your money. I know that the prices on the listings are tempting, especially to younger furs who might not have $1,000 or $2,000 laying around. But the photos used in those listings are almost always scraped off of popular makers' sites. 9 times out of 10, the suits in those photos are custom commissions of somebody's persona. If you purchase a costume from one of those sites or listings, You're going to get a suit that looks nothing like the photo on the listing, made with low quality materials, and is uncomfortable to wear. Moreover, these suits are made in sweatshops overseas that sacrifice the welfare of their employees and the quality of their products to save themselves some money. Avoid these sites like the plague. I cannot stress this enough. They take business away from fandom creators and they disappoint their customers in the end. Just don't even consider them, please. I'm saying this for your own good. If you have fursuits, have you ever had a bad experience commissioning one? Or do you want to tell everybody about how awesome your maker was to work with? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, go write a review somewhere online so that way everyone knows more about your maker. Word of mouth is the biggest tool that furry artists and fursuit makers have. So it's up to us as commissioners to share what we love about our favorite creators. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!